Gracious greetings, Saints, D.Min family and guests. Welcome to another edition of Living Water for a Thirsty Thursday. Here we are at St. Stephen Academy. We are at our infant toddler area where we have 6 weeks through 2 years old here. You can see a crib here to my left, as well as the artistry that's up on the wall, a little play area on the floor as well. What a blessing to be able to minister and have this available for our community, starting at 6 weeks at age, 6 weeks, just amazing. But I wanted to talk about over these next few weeks a subject that is in our society right now, Roe v. Wade. But I want to talk about it from a little different aspect, and that is pro-choice Christians. And is that the case? Is that something that should even be a reality? I know if you take some time to look at statistics, if you look at the World Health Organization, the WHO, they say that there are 40 to 50 million abortions per year in the whole world. And here in our country, the CDC, they actually say there's about 690,000 or right at 700,000 to a million, depending on what organization you get the statistics from, 700,000 basically to 8 million abortions per year. And so it's a lot of abortions, as we know. And so then I was wondering, well, how do those numbers break out? What does it really look like? And I was able to see that actually 88% of those abortions in the United States occur with those that are 30 years and younger. And then the 20-year-olds and below actually make up about 57% of that 88%. And then 20 to 30 take you on up the rest of that. So you can see 30 and below account for most of the abortions. There's another humbling statistic as well. Only 15% of abortions are actually done by married individuals. So 85% of abortions are committed by those that are not married. And so I started wondering and thinking about this. It's happening with our young people at high numbers, and it's happening with our unmarried, of course, at high numbers. And of course, some of those things correlate because sometimes people get married a little bit older than 30 years old. So that can be a factor. But then here's something that is also staggering. And one of the main reasons we're having this discussion is Lifeway Research did a study, I believe it's in 2015, that said 7 out of 10 Christians have committed the abortions or had abortions. So those that have had these abortions stated 7 out of 10 that they're also Christian. Thus, the question that we're posing, that we're positing today is pro-choice Christians? Well, just want to kind of set the framework today. We're not going to dig all the way into it, but I just want to give 2 passages because we don't want to turn this into a theological debate because we know it's already a social debate. It's already a political debate. It's already a gendered debate where it's taken away control and authority of a woman's own body. That debate is there as well. But I just wanted to look at a couple of passages that speak to abortion biblically. Exodus 21:22, it says, if men strive and hurt a woman with child so that her fruit depart from her, meaning the fruit of her womb, and yet no mischief follow, he shall surely be punished. According to the woman's husband will lay upon him, and he shall pay as the judges determine. And so an innocent child that's in the womb, if someone does something to cause that innocent child to die, pass away, or in this case, what we're speaking of, an abortion, God obviously is saying there is a problem with that. That is against his commandments. If that's not clear enough for you, let's go over to Proverbs, the 7th chapter, the 6th chapter, and the 16th and 17th verse. Proverbs 6:16 and 17 says, these 6 things, people have heard of the 7 deadly sins. Well, here it is in Proverbs 6:16. These 6 things does the Lord hate. Yes, 7 are an abomination unto him. First, a proud look, someone that has a lot of pride, someone that has a lying tongue, that is a liar, and the hand or hands that shed innocent blood. The person that murders someone that is innocent. And I think we can all say that a baby is innocent as well. And then of course, if that isn't clear enough, we do know that it is taking a life, and we know thou shalt not kill. I mean, there's plenty of scriptures in the Bible to help us to know that this shouldn't happen. And I'm not going into when does life happen and those types of things, because abortions happen at different points anyway. But what I really want us to think through, really, because this is what I really think it boils down to, is worldview versus my view versus God's view, right? Because there's other things in this abortion discussion that don't come up. Really, there is the child that can't advocate for themselves, right? Of course, there is the mom that is trying to advocate for herself. And then lastly, one that we don't hear a lot about is the father that helped to create this child, if you would. That voice isn't heard as well. And so those dynamics are things that I think should be in the discussion, and prayerfully over the next couple of weeks, we will entertain those parts and pieces. It's very important for us to walk through that as well. But at the end of the day, is abortion something that we as believers should partake in? Is it something that we should do? And I think all of us know that abortion has had an impact on all of our lives. All of us have either known someone that we're very close to, or we have actually had an abortion to occur in our lives. And so this is why we want to have this discussion, to talk about it a little bit further, to unpack it, to see if our view lines up with God's view, or is the world view really what's pushing and pulling us. So start digging into this, because next week we're going to dig into this a little bit further, because I know a lot of people talk about rape and incest and how that affects all of this, or the mother being ill and not aborting the pregnancy could take her life. Does that change God's view? So dig into that. We'll dig into that as well. Continue to make God proud in all you say, think, and do.